What's up, YouTube? It's JackalGoldKick. I have to make this video and get this off my chest, because if I don't, I'm gonna fucking explode, like Eminem once said in his diss to Limp Bizkit. This video is gonna be a message to James Decastro. James Decastro diss. James Decastro exposed. Because I'm pissed the fuck off. I did a video a while ago about James Decastro, and I did delete it. But just to re-go over it, let me try to explain everything. So, James Decastro is a rapper. He is an artist. I knew about him for a while, and for a while I was a fan of him, I was a supporter of him, and I supported his music. And we got to know each other on Instagram, had a decent relationship. We didn't know each other in real life, we talked here and there, but I was basically a fan of his music, and everything was good. Did a thoughts video on him, shit like that. Everything was good between them. He even started to watch my channel. But I can't remember when this was, but it was this year. Me and him had a falling out, and we started to have issues this year, because basically what had happened is on Instagram, because how I would interact with his videos is whenever he would put up good songs I liked, I would say, good track. And whenever he would put out, songs I didn't care for, I would say I didn't like this track. Because, I think it's important to weigh out the balances. Tell him when a song's good and when a song isn't good. Because criticism is important. I wanted to be honest with him. And I didn't do that at first because I like to be careful with relationships with artists online, because if a bridge gets burned, I can't listen to their music anymore. Same thing happened to like Dennis and shit. I talked about that in another video. But with James Decastro, what had happened is he hit me up on Instagram and he said, I'm trying to remember all of it. I don't know if I still have the conversation. I don't know if I'll even include it in this video. Maybe the conversation's deleted. I don't know. If I can include it, I will at the end of this video. We'll see. But he hit me up on Instagram, and he was basically, in general, he was wanting to set a boundary with me, and he was starting to take an issue with me telling him that telling him over and over, like, basically, like I said, what I would do is, if he had a song I liked, I would say, good song, shit like that. And if it's a song I didn't like, I would say, I didn't care for this track. And he wanted me to stop doing that, because he said he was starting to get tired of the negative criticism, and he was tired of me saying certain songs were bad over and over again. And he wanted a boundary set with that, because I feel like it affected his mental health, and he had issues with it, and it's a boundary he wanted to set and shit like that in general. That's what he wanted. That's his side. And I was in disagreement, because I was like, dude, because in general, when I was leaving criticism towards him and telling him a song I didn't like, I was never a dick about it. I was never an asshole about it. It was just, hey, didn't like this track, And I would even say things here and there. And he also took issue with that. He says, I had an issue, because there was one song he made called Champ one day. And I said, for a song like Champ one day, I think it should have been more aggressive. That was just an opinion. That's a critique. And he had an issue with that and, said, telling me to make, I think he said something like, you're telling me to make my music a certain way when I make it this way. Like, basically, in general, his side and what he wanted is he wanted to set a boundary where I would stop telling him over and over certain songs I didn't like. He just wanted me to leave positive criticism, and he wanted me to just tell him, tell me the songs you like, and then if you don't comment on a song, that's how I know you don't like the songs. That's the boundary he wanted to set, because he started to have an issue with that criticism being left over and over again, and constantly being told what songs I didn't like of his, even though I would, it would be a balance. Some songs I like, some songs I didn't like, but he wanted that boundary, and I didn't agree to it. I did not agree to it, and we had some arguings. We went back and forth. I tried to make amends, and then I think something happened, and then we just deaded it, and me and him aren't on speaking terms anymore. And that's how the beef started, and that's how we have issues. Fuck it, I'll call this a Mr. Beef. Fuck it, this is a Mr. Beef episode. Mr. Beef's back, bitch. Mr. Beef episode fucking 14. I don't know if I'll put that in the title, but this is pretty much Mr. Beef, And the reason I redid this video and deleted my other one is because, all right, let me slow down. So yeah, that's how the beef started, and that's how the falling out started, and the issue started me and James Decastro. He wanted a boundary set, and I didn't agree to it because I thought it was stupid. I was like, dude, I'm a fan of yours. I'm just giving you criticism. That's all I'm doing. I'm just giving you criticism. I don't think it's a big deal. But we couldn't come to an agreement on the boundary. He wanted the boundary set, and the negative criticism, he wanted it to stop. He wanted me to stop telling him what songs I didn't like because it was affecting him and his mental health and shit like that in general. He wanted that boundary. But on my end, I didn't want that. I wasn't agreeing to it, I wasn't agreeing to it, and we came to a disagreement, and it just caused an argument. We had a falling out. Like I said, if I can, I'll show the whole conversation at the end of this video. That way you can really see that shit. Fuck it, I will do that. And then after that, near the end, I tried to make amends with him and said I'll agree to your boundary, but he was still just getting kind of disrespectful. So me and him are just enemies now, not in speaking terms. And, then I made that video about him, and the reason I deleted it is because I still wanted to try to be cool with him, you know. So I deleted that video I made about him a while ago, and every once in a while I would hit him up on YouTube, and I would be like, "Look, dude, let's make amends," because a part of me still wants to be cool with James Decastro, because I was a big fan of this guy and his music. All right, I was a big fan of this guy and this music. Let me tell you people something, and why I'm pissed off, and why I have a right to make this video, and why I have a right to have a vengeance and vendetta against James Decastro to make this video. I was James Decastro's biggest fan and biggest fucking supporter. I listened to his music all the time, showed crazy support towards his music. I showed other people his fucking music, and I bought some of his fucking music with my own fucking money. On top of that, I was going to do a video called Modern Artists to check out, and I was going to include him in it and have him on the motherfucking thumbnail. And I already made another video about him called My Thoughts on James Decastro. I did so much for this guy, you know, bought some of it. I was one of the only people to buy his music. I bought some of his fucking music with my own money, supported him all the time, was always, you know, I was always supporting him, always listening to his music, bought his music with my own fucking money, showed a lot of people online his music, you know. Did a video about him, was going to do another video about him, including a bunch of other artists to tell people to check out and even have him in the thumbnail. And this is how he wants to do me. This is how he wants to do. This is how things go. And the reason I'm mad and the reason I say that is because, all right, so let's get back on track. After I deleted the video, from then all the way to now, once in a while, I was trying to hit up James Decastro multiple times on multiple YouTube channels and comment on his videos and say, look, man, let's make amends. I think we should squash beef. We should be cool again. You know, I'll agree to your boundary, even though I feel differently and think it's a stupid fucking dumb boundary. And I think he's being too much of a sensitive pussy bitch when it comes to that fucking boundary. Hey, I'll agree to it. You know, that's what I was trying to say in his comments before I even made this video and after I deleted that video. In general, from that to now, I was trying to tell him on his videos, hey man, let's squash beef, let's make amends, let's be cool again, let's do that, let's squash beef, let's make amends, you know. I don't think what happened between us was bad enough to where we just can't be cool anymore. Because, let me tell you something, there's other scenarios that were worse, all right? For example, shout out to Kadeem the King. I had a crazy beef with Kadeem the King. We were going at each other's throats. Even some of Kadeem's family got involved. His cousin, Brian Dage, right? Shout out to them, by the way. I'm cool with Brian Dage, Kadeem the King. Shout out to them. Nothing but love to him, you know. But, you know, me and Kadeem went at each other's throats. It was vicious. And guess what? Me and Kadeem are cool now, and we have a collab video coming out. But yet, James Decastro, you can't give me a second chance, and we can't be cool over something so minuscule. There's another person I know. I won't say his name. But there's another person I know that I'm cool with and made amends. I did something horrible to him. I had a video where I talked shit about him, and I deleted the video and made amends with him. Because another reason is because, you know, one of his family members hit me up. They had an issue with the video, which is understandable. I'm cool with that person. He's a cool person, and I deleted the video. We're cool now, you know. And the reason I say not give me a second chance is because, all right, so yeah, from deleting that video all the way to now, basically I've tried to contact James Decastro every now and then, just telling him, hey man, look, let's make amends. I'm sorry. Let's try to be cool. Let's squash this beef. Let's go back to being cool. Let's talk it out. And basically, that's what I was trying to do. And I just never got a response from him. Just no responses, you know. I even tried to hit him up on Instagram from a different account, and I got no responses. I even tried to follow him once in a while, and then it would go unfollowed because I had to request to follow him, and he would delete the request. And so he was basically ignoring me. He won't give me a second chance. He won't try to make amends, which is so stupid because our problem is not bad enough. I didn't rape one of his family members or rape James Decastro. I didn't date one of his family members or beat him up. I didn't do anything crazy to James Decastro. I could understand if I beat up one of James Decastro's family members or him, or raped one of his family members or him, or killed one of his family members. I could understand that. I could understand him not wanting to make amends. Of course, when you know, in some scenarios you can't make amends with people and squash beef, but there are some scenarios where you should give someone a second chance and forgiveness and make amends. You know, because people fuck up, they make mistakes, whatever. And like I said, James Decastro, you know, I doubt anything will come of this, but James Decastro, if you're watching this, you know, I want to squash beef. I legitimately would like to squash beef with you, James Decastro. I would like for me and you to be cool again, talk it out, whatever perceived differences we have, you know, and even if we feel differently on the boundary thing, I'm willing to agree to the boundary. I just want to go back to listening to your music and enjoying it, and us having a good relationship, and just us being cool. That's all I want. That's all I want, you know, but I can't get that. And it's bullshit. It's bullshit you're doing me this way, James Decastro. And look, I'm not trying to come off as an entitled fan, because I think people like that are creepy, that, you know, they push boundaries where they're like, well, since I support your music and got you where you are, I deserve this, I deserve that. I'm not trying to come across that way with the James Decastro stuff, but it just pisses me off that, you know, the situation went wrong with me and him, and I've tried to squash beef with him and make amends, and he ignores me when I'm the same person who constantly showed support to his music and listened to his music all the time and did a video on him. I was going to do another video on him talking about modern artists to check out, was even going to have him in the thumbnail. I've showed so many people that I could his music, saying, hey, check out James Decastro's music, to help him get his name out there. And like I said, I've bought his motherfucking music with my own money, and this is how he wants to do him. He doesn't want to give me a second chance. Well, fuck you, James Decastro. How about that? Why don't you make a diss track about me? You know? Because if you don't want to make amends and be cool, then it's fuck you. Then it's fuck you. And let me tell you something, James Decastro. This video is staying up. If you ever become famous, people are going to know what the fuck you did. People are going to know this shit. You know, they're going to know that you didn't give someone like me a second chance when I did so much for you. Did a video about you, bought your music, showed people your music, and you can't even just consider for a minute, look, maybe I could give him a second chance. You know, like I said, I'd like to be cool with you, James Decastro. I'd like for us to be cool. I know I'm disrespecting you in this video and shit, but it's a mix of Dr. Jekyll and Hyde. It's a mix of hatred and love at the same time, you know, because it's just a case of, if you ain't gonna be cool with me and give me a second chance, then I'm just gonna go against you and say fuck you. That's how I'm at with this shit. And it sucks, because James Decastro was one of my favorite artists. I liked his music, and things just went horrible between us. And it's more so his fault, because it's a stupid boundary. If you're an artist putting music out, if you're somebody in general putting yourself out there to the public, there is going to be criticism, and you should accept it, especially if you're a music artist. If you can't handle criticism, you should not be in the fucking music industry, you know? So yeah, this is the video I wanted to make. Yeah, a message to James Decastro, James Decastro diss, James Decastro exposed, you know? And let me say this, I'll leave a link to his channel in the description if you want to know what he does. Look, all right, look, let me preface this real quick. I don't want my fans or subscribers attacking him. I don't want people to go harass him. Let me make that clear. My subscribers and viewers and people who watch me, don't harass James Decastro. You know, don't like dox him. Don't do anything crazy towards James Decastro. You know, let's keep this just this. So yeah, let me put that warning in there. All my subscribers and viewers and fans, don't go attack James Decastro. Don't go after him and harass him. You know, maybe you can check his music out and see what you think, and maybe you could try to talk to him for me and see if he want to make amends. But to all my subscribers and viewers, just don't harass him or attack him or be nasty and dox him. Don't do anything crazy like that. I don't support that. I don't condone that stuff. Despite the problems me and him have, despite what I'm saying in this video, just don't attack him. Don't go after him like that. Don't harass him and dox him, because I'm not about that. I'm not about that. It's not deserving, and it shouldn't happen to him. And I would hope he would think the same of me if he did decide to make a diss track, whatever the fuck he's going to decide to do. But yeah, that's all I got to say in this video. I just had to talk about this because it pisses me off. Link in the description to his channel if you want to see what he does and the music he does. But I had to make this video. It probably won't even be a thumbnail because I want to keep it as raw as possible. You know, like I said, James Decastro is a rapper. Like I said in general, just to sum it up, James Decastro is a rapper that I've been a fan of for years. And, you know, we had a falling out because he wanted to set a boundary, but I just didn't agree to the boundary because I thought it was stupid. And then that ended up causing a divide and conflict, and we just couldn't be cool anymore, you know? And then now when I try to hit him up once in a while, he just ignores me and doesn't want to give me a second chance or squash beef. And that's basically the gist of it. And it pisses me off because, like I said, he should consider some type of, you know, James Decastro, just think about it somewhat, you know? I just wish he would at least tell me he doesn't want to be cool. I would at least appreciate that shit, you know? Because it hurts me and it pisses me off because, like I said, people, I've fucking shown him so much support. I've shown James Decastro so much support on his songs, listened to his music like crazy, bought his fucking music with my own money, and I showed plenty of people online his music to get his name out there, and I did a video about him, giving him exposure on my channel, and I was going to do another video called Modern Artists, which I'm going to do that in the future. I'm going to do a future video called Modern Artists to check out, where I tell people of the world, hey, if you're tired of bad music, these are artists to look into, and James Decastro was going to be included in that video, and he was going to be on the thumbnail, and that would have gave him some exposure. You know, and it just pisses me off that James Decastro is doing me like this, and you fucked up, James Decastro. You fucked up, you messed up, because, you know, I don't know what's going to happen in the future on my YouTube channel, but I would like to become big on YouTube. I'd like to become famous. And if I ever did become big or famous on YouTube, I'd like to help out a lot of people. You know, if I ever become famous or big on YouTube, I'm going to try to help out all the independent artists I know, like, you know, all the independent artists I know and listen to. I'm going to try to help them out and blow them up. You know, if I ever blow up, because I think they deserve it. They're really good. And James Decastro, you could have been one of those people and you could have had that benefit, but now you fucking won't after how you're doing me. So fuck you. You know, I had to make this video. You know, I know it's like crazy because I'm dissing him, but at the same time, I'm fucking getting personal. But I have to make this video and get this off my chest, you know. And I'm not asking people to pick sides, you know. I'm not asking people to pick sides between me or James Decastro. You know, it's up to you what your stance is. But I'm angry, you know, because how the situation went and how he just won't give me a second chance. I want to talk it out with him and squash beef. I feel like we could work this out. But he doesn't want to. He just ignores me. He doesn't say anything back. And it's just bullshit, you know. I would think James Decastro would want to give me another chance. I would think James Decastro would want to talk to me since I was his biggest fan and I showed people all the time his music. And I bought his music with my own money. I did a lot for this guy. And I get treated like dirt. It's bullshit, and that's why I'm doing this fucking video. Because hey, if we can't be cool, James Decastro, then at least I can take solace or whatever in destroying you. You know, shout out to Kadeem the King, by the way. This is kind of a Kadeem type video, I guess, because Kadeem would diss people. So I guess this is kind of a Kadeem type video where I'm dissing someone. So yeah, shout out to Kadeem the King. And yeah, I'm just glad I did this towards you, James Decastro, and I kind of did it Kadeem the King style, pretty much, since I'm dissing someone. Yeah, shout out to Kadeem the King, by the way. It's kind of similar to what he did with dissing videos. But yeah, that's all I got to say. This is just JackalGoldKick. That's all I got to say. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share the notification bell. Like I said, don't go to attack his channel. That's all I have to say about it. I just had to get this off my chest. You know, it just pisses me off, you know, that the dentist and dispensary thing was one thing, and this is just another. You know, this is why with artists I listen to, I try to be careful because, you know, if a bridge is burned, then that just makes it to where you can't separate the art from the artist. So that's all I got to say about it.